find out why this newest deck is upsetting me as I hereby summon all my imps to join me on my adventure through Marvel Snap. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. So the deck that you're currently seeing on the screen is a brand new deck that kind of came out from Cam Best. If I can figure out how to link it, I might link his video on how he did this deck. And there's nothing against Cam Best. I love Cam Best. There's nothing against this deck in general, but it's more what this deck represents. And the thing about this deck is, this is a Sasquatch deck, and while this is an interesting little Sasquatch deck, what is more interesting about this deck that I don't think a lot of people have noticed is that if you actually look through this deck, there's only 3 cards in this deck that are not series 4 or 5. The only cards in this entire deck that are not series 3, or I should say the only cards that are series 3, are Angela, Mysterio, and the Professor X. If you look at the rest of the deck, all the rest of the cards, 9 cards out of this deck are brand new cards, or basically, for lack of a better word, Series 5 cards. You've got the Jeff, you've got the Elsa, and here's the thing, a lot of this stuff is coming from newer stuff. In just the past couple weeks, you're looking at Sasquatch, you're looking at Sage, you're looking at Nocturne, that's all from this month. From not that long ago, you're looking at Cannonball, you're looking at Mockingbird. These are cards that still are 6,000 token cards. And this is starting to become a trend with decks in Marvel Snap. It's hard to have a deck out there that is so loaded with high cards, and not high cards as into there's 6 costs as opposed to 5 costs, but it is Series 5 as opposed to Series 3. And I can't blame the creators who make these decks. If you want to make a Sasquatch deck because it's the newest deck out there, you know that's what you gotta do for the algorithm. I get it. I understand that. This is not a blame of that. It's more of a weird little trend that I'm seeing with Second Gear in general. As the months have gone by, it seems like back in the day, and I'm sounding like an old person here, back in my day, when you had a deck, it might have had 1 Series 5 in it. Might have had 2 Series 5s in it. Now it just seems like every deck I'm seeing, it's Series 5, Series 6, new cards, and what that means to the older cards that exist. Now, am I saying that you can't play an older deck? That's not true. A good, long Black Panther Artem Zola deck can still even beat this deck. If they don't get to Professor X, there's nothing they can do about the long Black Panther Artem Zola trick, and that's a Series 3 deck that's existed since the beginning of time. But there's something upsetting, there's something callous about so many people who are just like, oh yeah, just play this deck. It's so easy to play. All you need is Jeff, and you need Nocturne, and you just need Sage, and you need Sasquatch, and you need Mockingbird, and you need Cannibal. It's like, when am I supposed to get these cards? How am I supposed to get these cards? And it's more a matter of acquisition. This game, if it's meant that you're not supposed to own every single card, which is the way that this game was announced, was touted for the longest time, of just play whatever you want and just you'll be fine. And now it seems that the whole idea of you don't need to own every single card isn't as true as it used to be. It seems like every single card that comes out nowadays is like, you better get it right now, you better have the collection. And this game right now is not set up for you to go down that path unless you're really throwing money at this game. And I'm not talking about the little type of money, I'm talking about like the big buckaroos. And it worries me about what will happen to this game in the future if this is the road that the game keeps going down. If every single deck that comes out needs 4 Series 5 cards, that's 24,000 Buttress tokens. Where are you supposed to get those from? If you're a newer player, if you don't own Nocturne, if you didn't think Nocturne was good, or you didn't think Sage was good, now to get Sage, the only way you can really get her is through the tokens. Even to get Sasquatch this week, you have to possibly spend 4 keys to get that. I just kind of wish that there were more people out there who showed decks that were budget friendly, that showed decks that were player friendly, that, you know, it just seems like every single person I watch, besides myself, I'm not counting myself in this, when they bring out a deck, the first card that they bring up is Jeff. The second card that they bring up is like Nocturne. It's like, okay, that's great. But where are the decks for the people who don't have this? What's the Sasquatch deck that you make if you don't own these cards? And it just seems like we're getting to this weird point where everybody's just okay with, yeah, just own the new cards. That's just the norm. That's just the expected answer. It's like, the answer isn't why don't you own Jeff? The answer is, why don't you own Jeff? I mean, I know that sounds like the same thing, but it's like, the answer isn't, it's now getting to a point where it's like, you should own Jeff. It's like, but why? You know, there's people who don't own Jeff still. It happens. It's possible. On my account that I have, that's Series 3 only, that doesn't go and pay money, it's completely free to play, and doesn't go heavy on the caches, just buys a cache a week, which is, I feel, reasonable to do. I'm still missing Zabu. I've never gotten him. It's just how it happened. And it seems that now it's more like, wow, I can't believe you don't have Zabu, you're a loser, as opposed to like, oh, that's kind of weird that you don't have Zabu. And I'm not sure how you can fix it, because the only way that you fix it is by making it easier to obtain cards. And at this point, I have no faith in Second Dinner that they will ever let a card like Jeff go down a series, that they'll ever let a card like Null go down a series. And the fact that nobody's having this discussion, nobody's talking about how it's getting ridiculous that a deck needs 4 6-drops, needs 3 6-drops. Even that's high to have. 4 6-drops if you just look at this deck on its own, you're talking Sasquatch, Sage, Nocturne. That's 3 out of the 4 last cards. That's a week, and then a week after that. The game's not built to support that, and it just bugs me that nobody tries to make decks like this other than myself. I mean, I play for fun, I make decks like this that just show you off weird stuff that you can do, but even on myself, the number of times that I fall into the realm of just, you know, one Black Panther Artemzilla. I'm not sure what to do to fix it, because I don't think that Second Dinner wants to fix it. And the fact that nobody's having a conversation about this anymore, and there's no more outrage about this anymore, and it's just come to the point of comedy that's like, yeah, The deck has 4 6-drops in it. The deck has 4 Series 5s in it, I should say. What do you expect? Is the conversation that we're having now. Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, remember, play for fun.